All right, let me talk about this. Anybody know what is Chime?
Quick question, Deepu. Tomorrow do we have class? Because I know you
No, no.
mentioned Tuesday
Today,
your last
today
class.
is the last class. Today is the last class.
Okay.
So Chime is a new feature that they just released 3 days back. Hopefully, if things goes well, my next class will be on Chime instead of go to webinar or go to meeting. This is a great product that Amazon has released. Um, so Chime, there is nothing much here actually for Chime, but let me see. I can show you a email that I got from Amazon. So this is how Amazon Chime will look like. The thing, it is actually a collaboration tool where you could do chats, video conferencing, phone calls, everything is there. So this is a great product. I think there is a 30-day trial, and then you have to pay for it. And there is also, they are saying um, um, the pricing wise, it's pretty costly, I think, because it is charging, if you go for the professional edition, that is where you get 100 candidates. Otherwise, you can see that maximum attendees is 2 people. That's a good catch there. But you can have a chat rooms. You can have conference room videos, record meetings, remote desktop client screen sharing, whiteboards. Every feature is there. But if you want more than 2 candidates, you need to go with Pro, and that Pro is like $15 per user. Right now for GoToWebinar, I pay around $120 a month. That's a flat free for 100 candidates. So in that way, if I look at it, I think this is pretty costly. It is $15 per user per month. Sometimes my class, and you know that this class went more than a month. So every month is $15. So I'm not sure, but this looks like this is going to be the new conferencing tool. So if you want, take a look at that. Okay, Chime. So another thing I want to talk quickly, I just wanted to talk about few things here is actually these migration tools. I think you guys wanted to try this probably. DMS is a database migration tool. Uh, this tool allows you to migrate online, okay, without shutting down your SQL Server or Oracle server. You can convert or migrate. I have never used this, but I think you may want to try this. This is a product that allows you to migrate your databases to Amazon Aurora. Amazon Aurora is their own version of SQL, SQL-based database. It's a high-performance MySQL compatible enterprise class database. Very cheap. You can see that it is saying 5 times throughput of MySQL and things like that. So this product will allow you to migrate your databases. So if you are a DBA, probably you may understand this more. I'm not sure about all the things, but database migration service is getting very popular nowadays. So what they are doing is um, without shutting down or without having any disturbance to your existing SQL or Oracle databases, you can migrate the entire database into Amazon, test it and make sure everything is good, and then you can do a final cutover of your last minute changes from your source database to the target database, and then you cut over. So this product I think is pretty getting a lot of popularity now. So if anybody wanted, I don't know whether this will be part of the exam. I really doubt, but when you're going for interviews and stuff like that, I think there may be a very good possibility that people might ask you, do you know how to migrate databases? So you may want to watch some videos. I have created a set of videos for you. Of the videos that I think I watched, these are all the videos from Amazon breakout sessions. Uh, Pretty much all of them are very good videos. So if you get some time, you watched it, I will send you all these videos. There are 3 videos for VPACs, ELBs, Route 53, IAM, auto scaling, Microsoft Active Directory integration. This is a good video. There are different scenarios on how you can integrate Microsoft Active Directory with Amazon. Then some EC2 master classes. There are some 2 videos. Elastic block storage deep dive. And now, there is a new feature that just released today. I just got that notification today that if you have an instance, can anybody tell me this answer? You have an instance, and that instance is having a 50 gig hard drive. You want to make this 50 gig hard drive to 100 gig. Is it possible? Or how do we do that? Can anybody answer that question? I have an instance A. Instance A has a hard disk which is 50 gig right now. I want to expand that drive to 100 gig. How do I do that? Anybody?
I think in VMware you can do that.
No. We are talking Amazon here, so let's keep VMware out.
Oh, okay, sorry.
Anybody? Come on, guys.
Adding one more block of 50 GB EBS.
Okay, adding one more block of 50 gig will give you another drive. Correct?
Yeah.
Right. Expand.
Anybody? Okay, Muthu is saying detach the drive, and then tell me, Muthu, what we need to do. Detach and then what? Okay. So normally what you do to do is you need to take a snapshot of that volume. Then detach that volume. Then from that snapshot you create a new volume. At that time you specify the new volume size to 100 gig and then you attach it. Okay? That was the only way. You cannot expand a drive on the fly without shutting down the machine and all. It was not possible. But today I saw an Amazon message that says you can actually expand the drive without shutting down. That is a great feature. So I am not sure how to do that. I have not tried that, but if anybody wants, give it a try. Let me see. I can find that information. That's a big announcement actually from a Windows Linux live volume modification. Let me see. I can find that for a minute here. It's called live volume modification. Okay, here it is. February 13th, 2017. So it is a couple of days, but they announced it today. Today we are introducing Elastic Volumes features Amazon Elastic Block Store. The new capability allows you to modify configuration of live volumes with a simple API call or a few console clicks. Elastic Volumes make it easy to dynamically increase the capacity, tune performance, and change the type of your existing. Okay, so that is the new feature. Why don't we just go and give it a try? I'm not sure. Okay, you understand? So we can probably try that. So I have a here. I think let's go to the volumes. I think here is where we need to see. So I have a 30 gig volume. So let's see, is there any action to modify volume? Haha, here it is. So I'm going to make it to 50 gig. You see what I'm doing? This was not there before, okay? And you can also increase the capacity also and modify it. Are you sure you want to modify the volume? It may take some time for performance changes to take full. You may need to extend the OS file system. So basically so you can do that. Actually, it worked. I think they are doing that. So let's see whether it is become 50 gig now. Yep, it did become 50 gig. But your operating system won't allow it. So you need to go to the operating system and expand the drive. But this is definitely a huge advantage. This is something that was missing for many years, and I was actually kind of disappointed as a VMware guy, where you have the flexibility to expand the drives of a VM just like that, and you go into Amazon cloud and you don't have that capability. Every time I want, and in a big enterprise, space get always utilized. You always get space alerts. Your drives get full. So you need to expand the drives. It is a very common task of a Windows Linux administrator's job. But the problem here is every time you want to expand a drive, you have to shut down the computer and then expand it. It is a painful process. It takes like 15-20 minutes to do that. But today, Amazon has came up with this great feature where you could expand the drive just like that. Is that clear?
So, yeah, the server is shut down right now. So you think
No,
it's gonna work?
that is what I'm going to try now. I'm actually going to
Okay.
power up an instance here. Let's do this instance and shut power on the VM. So I think it should start, and let's see that. So this server has a volume. So let's go and find out its volume here. So this is the volume. So the server is now starting. You can see that the drive is coming up.
I think that's the one we already
That's
extended.
fine. That's fine. I can actually modify that volume to 60 gig.
All right.
I think it allows state of optimizing. Okay, so that volume is probably the one that we expanded, and it is saying it is still in the process of modifying. So let me just go and do this on a Bastion host. Let me start the Bastion host. And Bastion host has this volume. So let's just give it a minute. I think this volume is still starting. So you all understand this, what I'm talking here, right?
Right.
So that's a great feature. Let's see, Sandeep has come here. Sandeep, are you in the class? Sandeep? No.
So, I mean, if you have a few minutes, any suggestion or anything about like a job market or how should we proceed? Any, tips?
Job market is probably okay, so it's possible, okay, so that VM is done and I just increased that to 40 gig. It works, okay?
Okay, good.
Right. We'll talk a little bit about those things. Let me just go through certain things, Kashif, okay?
Sure, definitely. I thought we were waiting on this, so that's okay. We can do it at the end of the class.
All right. Okay. So that is another feature. Another one is the server migration tool. This is actually AWS server migration. It's basically to convert your VMs into Amazon. It is a replication process where you could try that. I have never tried this because we used different third parties to migrate. But if you have a one-time setup, you can actually do that. It's actually what you need to do for this is for AWS server migration connector setup, you need to basically install this OVA. So if you look at it, you can see that this is an OVA file. Anybody know what an OVA file is? Anybody know what an OVA file is? No. Okay, OVA stands for Open Virtualization Architecture. It is the way of distributing virtual machines across different platforms. It's a standard across all virtualization companies. So OVF and OVA, these are two different formats that are widely accepted in every virtualization format. So if you have an OVA file or an OVF file, you can create a VM in 2 minutes. It is a pre-configured VM. You have to go to VMware and then deploy that OVA file. So basically, you go to VMware, and then here there is an option called deploy OVF template or OVA file. You point it to your OVF. See here, there is an OVF file. You point it to that file. It is a zip file, and then you click next. It will come up with all this configuration. You click next, a couple of things, accept the agreement, next, and it will go into create an instance. See here what I'm doing now. It is creating a VM right now for me. So here it is. So it is already creating a VM. You see that? Web application. So it is actually deploying a VM for me. Are you guys following me? That is what an OVA file is. So what you need to do is, I'm not doing that. I'm actually canceling that. So Amazon has provided an OVA file. So it is called as a connector. It is a Linux-based operating system running some software which will help you to migrate your VMs into Amazon. So first you download that and deploy that OVA file. And then, to talk to vCenter and AWS, the connector will require a AWS service account, IAM, and an IAM. So you need to create a service account in VMware and also an IAM user. And you need to set up that. I think the documentation details are there. And once that is done, basically you can connect to Amazon from your VMware vCenter, and then you will be able to replicate your servers. But the thing is, if my understanding is correct, this is only a one-time replication. You cannot do this as a continuous replication for disaster recovery or anything. That's not possible. This process will move your VM from your environment to there. And now, again, it's not going to move it until you decide. I think it will work for like 10 days or something, but then you need to do a cutover. So there is nothing wrong in testing that, but this is the tool that Amazon is providing to migrate your VMs, only VMs, okay, it's not possible to migrate physical servers, to migrate your VMs from VMware platform to Amazon. Now this is also possible for Hyper-V. The same product will work on Hyper-V also. Okay. Now if anybody wants to know a much more powerful tool, there is a company, there's a product called ASR, it is called as Azure Site Recovery. So Azure Site Recovery, Automated Protection. This is actually a product that Microsoft recently purchased. This product was previously called as Image, IMAG. This product can actually convert VMware VMs, Microsoft Hyper-V VMs, and also physical servers into Microsoft Cloud. Now, I'm sure this product they are also now, Emerge is now working on converting that to Amazon also. So you may want to look at that. If you are looking for converting physical servers, okay, if you have a Dell or HP server running Windows or Linux and you want to convert that server to Amazon, you could probably use as ASR, Azure Site Recovery. Now, if you don't have Azure Site Recovery and you have a physical server, uh, anybody can suggest what will be the best way to get that server. So VMware has tools called VMware Converter, correct? So you can convert a physical server to a VM and then convert that VM to Amazon using AWS Server Migration Connector. You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
Because everybody wants to go to cloud at the end of the day. So if you have a physical server and that doesn't mean, oh, okay, it's not possible. No, you can easily convert a physical server to a VM by using VMware Converter, which is a free tool, or you can use PlateSpin, you can use multiple products are available, but free product is VMware Converter. You can use VMware Converter to convert a physical server to a VM, and then using AWS Server Migration Connector, you can convert that into Amazon. Okay, so this is the server migration tool. I would say you may want to just read a little bit about it, because when you get into an interview and all, people might ask you, hey, how do you migrate databases? How do you migrate server migration? But this is not these are for small companies, but when you're talking about enterprise companies, I don't think they do use the DMS or server migrations. They have a much more advanced technologies. For example, we are looking at migrating a lot of our servers to Amazon. This product cannot handle that. Server migration tool cannot handle that. So we are looking at products like Cloud Endure. Cloud Endure is a company. If anybody is interested, look into this also. Cloud Endure. Cloud migration and disaster recovery. This is also a great product. This product can also do physical servers. Okay, I forgot to tell you that. If you are looking to migrate physical servers to Amazon, Cloud Endure is probably a very good option. Disaster recovery and live migration. This product can do that for you. So I tested this product in our environment, but we haven't made a decision. We haven't made a decision yet whether we're going to go with this or not. But this is a great product, and the RTO, the recovery time using this product was very, very, very small, which is one of the key advantages of this product. So, you have a disaster, and now that you want to recover all your servers, if it takes 2 days or 3 days, that doesn't make sense. So always when you deal with the disaster recovery, the two terms that come into picture is RPO and RTO. Recovery point objective and recovery time objective. Recovery time objective, or RTO, is the time that you need to recover those servers. You are replicating, you have a backup copy, everything is in Amazon. And now your company declared a disaster. That means your company's primary data center is completely gone because of a earthquake or because of a fire or something. You lost all your servers. Now your company is in a disaster recovery mode. Now they're going to ask you guys, hey, come on, let us bring all our servers up in Amazon or wherever. How much time it will take for you to recover those servers in the DR location is what is called as RTO, recovery time objective, the time it takes to recover. The smaller the time, bigger will be the cost. because your storage, your VMs maybe, there are different techniques like pilot light and all, you can have your VMs, the disaster VMs up and running in the cloud all the time with a very small T2 micro instance, with a T2 micro instance, your server will be running, and when your real DR is happening, you just shut down the instance and change the instance type to R2 or M4 extra large or something and power it on. That way, your server will come up very fast. But the cost for maintaining such an environment is very high, because if you have 1,000 servers and 1,000 servers in DR, your 1,000 servers are all the time running. So you need storage, you need instances. So that is a costly effect, but it works very fast. Recovery point objective. What is recovery point objective? Anybody? Let me ask, see who knows what is recovery point objective means. Now this is not for Amazon, this is not for VM, these are general topics. What is a recovery point objective? RPO means. Anybody?
I think it's like a SLA for, coming back, like bring the business back online or something.
Okay, Sandeep Chakka has come. Okay, Sandeep has come. Okay, I wondered. Yeah. Okay, so recovery point objective is, up to what time you can go back. For example, let me show you this. Recovery point objective is done like this. Okay. So you have a VM here. Let's say it's an application server, and you have a database server here, and you are replicating these two servers to cloud. So you have a copy of the application server here, and you have a copy of your database server here. So you replicate these servers every 24 hours. Okay, let's say every 24 hours you replicate it. Let's say every night 9 p.m. you replicate this server, and at 10 p.m. you replicate this server. It takes 10 minutes or 5 minutes to replicate. So today the replication happened, 9 p.m. and 10 p.m. the replication happened. Tomorrow morning around 10 o'clock, 10 a.m. tomorrow morning, you lost these two servers. Now what do you do?
Recover it back to 9 p.m.
So you have to start these servers, correct? You need to bring up these servers, but what is your RPO at that point? Recovery point objective. What is your last time? Because your last replication time was 10 o'clock, correct? So you are almost 12 hours behind, isn't it? It is 10 a.m., but your data is as of 10 p.m. last night. You lost almost 12 hours of data, isn't it? So this is also a key factor when you're doing disaster recovery, RPO. If your company is saying, we cannot have an RPO, if I want to have an RPO of 1 hour, that means if they have an outage at 10 a.m., they need the data as of 9 a.m. If that's the case, then how often I need to replicate this server? Can I do a 24-hour replication?
Every hour.
I have to replicate every hour. Correct? When you do every hour, there will be snapshots happening, there will be a lot of things happening. So there are technologies, for example, Zerto, Z-E-R-T-O. If you don't know, I would strongly recommend everybody to go and read and watch a video or at least some information about Zerto. Zerto is a very, very powerful replication tool nowadays. They are taking up the market. There are So many products are there. Double Take is there. Veeam is there. Another company is actually called as Veeam. Then another product is called vRanger. These are all replication products. You know, Commvault. Commvault has products. So these are all replication backup softwares. Zerto is probably one of the best I've seen in the industry, which can give you a 5 minutes RPO. 5 minutes RPO. That means it is having a technology which is pretty much continuous replication. Every time it uses some kind of a memory based replication technique. I'm not going to get into the details, but what happens is any time your computer, any data come to the memory, that data will be replicated. So it is like a continuous replication. If you can do a continuous replication, then I can get a 5 minute RPO, correct? But the cost of that is more, so that is why the product is costly. So the two important things that you need to understand for disaster recovery is basically RPO and RTO. Okay, so keep that in mind. So at least don't just talk like what Kashif said. You know, Kashif, I'm just telling you, you have to have a clear understanding of what is RTO and what is RPO. At least you should be able to answer that. RTO is the recovery time objective. Now, just by telling recovery time objective doesn't mean anything. You need to explain what is RTO. How much time it will take to recover that server in a working condition in my DR location. That is what is RTO is. For example, if I have a server that I am replicating to Amazon, but for costing factor, I replicate my server from my data center, my app server I am replicating to Amazon, but I am putting it in Amazon Glacier. This is Glacier storage. What is the advantage of storing in Glacier? Can anybody tell me?
The cost, archiving and cost.
The cost is very, very cheap, correct? It is very, very small amount only you need to pay. Everything is good, you are replicating it here. Now you have a disaster happened. You need to recover this server and bring it up as an instance. If this is a 200 gig VM, I would say this will probably take around 24 hours to get this server into an instance. Is it a good RTO?
No.
No. If I can replicate this server to S3, will it be faster than Glacier recovering from S3?
Yes.
Definitely it will be much more faster than Glacier, but it is again going to take some time because it is in S3. But instead, if I can replicate this server straight to an EBS block storage attached to a VM, okay, I'm replicating straight to this disk for a VM. And if there is a disaster happens, what should I do? What is the only thing I need to do? All I need is to power on that server. My data is already there on the EBS blocks. It will be up and running. This time the RTO will be probably 2 minutes. Here it is 2 minutes when you are replicating straight to EBS blocks. When you replicate to S3, it will be probably 1 hour. When you replicate to Glacier, it might take 10 hours. The cost is for keeping that server. In Glacier, it will cost you probably $2. In S3, it might cost you $10. If you want to store it in EBS, it will cost you $100. You see the difference? But RTO, so it is your business has to make the decision. You getting what I'm saying, trying to tell you? So this is RTO. Now, when you're talking about RPO, what is RPO? Recovery point objective. What does that mean? That means how often you are replicating. If you are going with the old traditional replication software that replicate once in every 24 hours, your RPO is 24 hours. I mean, it depends. If your last replication happened at 8 p.m. and your outage happened at 8:15, then you are good. You get 15 minutes. But if 8 p.m. is happened, replication happened, and your outage is happening at 8 a.m., you have a 12-hour difference. Correct? So the more faster you want to replicate, there is an additional cost for it. So that is the difference between RTO and RPO. Okay. So just keep that in mind when you are talking about thing. Snowball. Did I talk about Snowball? I think I did talk a little bit about Snowball. Dhruva. I don't know, Devinder. What is Dhruva? Can you talk a little bit about it, Dhruva, Devinder?
Dhruva is also disaster recovery backup cloud-based software. It's an interface. They used Amazon Web Services to store instances and backup restore, but it has a nice interface. So you don't have to play with Amazon. You have to play with the Dhruva interface, and you can take snapshots and backup every hour. I'm using that, experimenting with it. It's an India-based, I think, company, but they have office here in San Jose.
This is the company?
Yep. Very, very good tech support. They have good engineers on staff. Very good.
And you can use this to replicate to Amazon?
Yeah, they use Amazon as the back end. That's what they use.
Oh, okay. No. So you use this to replicate to where?
Yeah. And also this is from my data center. I'm replicating my VMware environment to Amazon.
Oh, you are already doing that?
Using Dhruva tool.
Oh, okay. How long you been doing that?
Started 4 months ago.
Okay.
Not everything, some stuff, some SQL and Exchange, not the whole Active Directory, but certain mission critical servers.
So SQL servers, you are replicating it live without shutting down?
Yeah, without shutting down.
Does it take any snapshots or it do without snapshots?
It takes snapshots.
With a snapshot, right?
Correct.
Okay. And you do replication every 24 hours?
I was doing every hour, but it's creating a lot of snapshots, so now I'm just doing 24 hours, right?
Okay. And your SQL servers also you are replicating, you're snapshotting. So
Correct.
do you think your data will be consistent? Is there any data corruption issue happens? SQL Server snapshotting is not a recommended solution. I've seen databases get corrupted because, when you're having active writes and table updates and schema updates are happening, that is when you're snapshotting, your data will be in the middle of a stage and your transaction will be incomplete. So that could create problems for databases. So databases are not recommended for snapshot-based replication. So you may want to check that out. Okay.
Good to know.
Yeah. So I mean, I have done that. It sometimes works, but sometimes there's a very good possibility that your data can get corrupted. So database servers, you may want to do some kind of a log shipping or something else as a backup also, or basically backup the databases to a different place and then you replicate that data.
Correct.
But others say even domain controllers are also not recommended for that type of replication. It can create corruptions.
Mm-hmm. Thank you.
So Snowball, I think I did mention a little bit about Snowball. Snowball is again Amazon's way of transferring large amount of data, not for VMs as such. You can do VMs also, but Snowball is basically a service used to transfer data into cloud and as faster than internet speed or harness the power of AWS cloud. So basically, it is a box. I think I did show you about that. I think I did show you AWS Snowball in that class, right? So this is basically AWS Snowball. This is actually a physical device which is waterproof, fireproof, crash proof. Even if you run a truck on top of it, nothing happens to this. Highly durable material, and it has a USB port that also it has a 10 gig network connectivity port here. It has the UPS sticker, everything. When you here when you come and do this thing, so basically you can actually copy the data into the Snowball. You give the shipping job. Once you say that, Amazon will send you a Snowball to your location, and then you can attach that to your network, and then you can copy all your data here. Amazon has the highest level of security. They can even give you, security guard or whatever it is to transport this confidential data, and they're guaranteeing that this data will not get into anybody's hand. They have direct deals with the FedEx and UPS. It comes with the FedEx label, I believe, already, and once your data reaches Amazon data center, whichever it is, whatever region you want, they will hook it up into the network, and then they will transfer the data. So if your company is having terabytes and terabytes of data or petabyte scale data, it is not possible to replicate that data over internet bandwidth. You're talking about 100 gig, 200 gig, or 1 terabyte or 2 terabyte, it may be possible. But if you have more than that, for example, if you are a company and that your company is having 1,000 servers that you need to migrate to Amazon, I don't think it's going to work practically. It is not possible to do that over a internet link. You can do that. Probably it takes like 6 months to a year to complete it. But if you have a Amazon Snowball, you can order that. They will send it to you, and then you can attach it and then copy your data into that.
So
And
you're copying VMDK in a VMware environment. You'll be copying VM. What exactly I'm copying?
it is basically used for data transfer. You're talking about your file. What do you want to put it in S3? So it is not a VM you can copy. You cannot put a VMDK or anything into that, because Amazon does not understand what is a VMDK. So it's basically used for huge file transfer, your home directories, your file servers, file shares, your database backups and stuff like that. That is what is actually Snowball. So I have Sandeep here. Sandeep, can you hear me?
Yes, Deepu.
All right. So
Able to hear you.
Sandeep, you got the certification today, right? Yesterday, right?
Yes, Deepu, on Saturday. Yeah.
All right. So I think everybody is very curious to know, and I was looking for you. So if you could use 10-15 minutes and talk about your experience on that exam, how did it go? What were the questions and all things? It will be nice. I think everybody will get a chance to know. And there are a couple of people are already preparing for exams, especially Karthik and Ashwin Kumar and all. So if you could explain how was the exam and how did you prepare, that will be great.
Sure, Deepu. First thing, hello everyone. And coming to the exam, every question is like scenario based. Like you don't get a straightforward question. Amazon doesn't question anything like what is the full form of S3 or EBS. Whatever the questions in the exam, it was like not like a direct question, but you can answer if you can have a good understanding about the concepts. Whatever is the services, first have a clear understanding. You don't need to get deep into the subject. Just have a clear understanding what exactly S3 means, how does it offer security levels, what are the encryption levels it offers. Suppose for example I got a question saying that which of the following is not encryption provided by Amazon for sub objects in S3. So it will give a list of 5 or 6 options and it will ask you to choose 2. So it is a basic thing, but the question options are a little tricky. So if you know the exact wordings, I mean like the encryption terminologies. So it happens with every service. First of all, have a clear understanding like how the depot classes go. Like try to get an understanding what the services are. I have to say that even I didn't know any services like in depth. I have an idea about what services provide, and apart from the classes, these classes are like they give you a real-time experience how they're going to be. Like if we take the example of VPC, you get a CIDR block, so you can expect a couple of questions from CIDR block itself, like how you gonna restrict the IP addresses using CIDR blocks. Like if the company wants to restrict the access to their subnets using only their corporate address, how is it gonna be? Like you need to be good with how to use the CIDR blocks. So and I also try to cover every service, because in exam what I understood was the questions won't be related to only one service. Like if it's auto scaling, it will involve ELBs, it will involve the how the instance is created, like whether it is instance store backed instance or is it EBS backed instance. So in only one question he's trying to cover almost 5 or 6 topics, but at the end of the question the concentration will be on only one service. So if you have an idea what I mean where instance store backed AMIs are stored in, you can answer the question pretty easily. For that you need to like try to have a clear understanding about the service. You don't need to go deeper into the subject, but have a clear understanding in whatever the introduction is. And for me, couple of online tutorials also helped me along with taking the class here. Like everyone, like after the class, I tried to get into FAQs using the AWS website, and also
Can you put those links in the chat here if you don't mind?
yeah, sure.
I can put it to everybody.
Yeah, I'm gonna put this. And I tried to purchase a course from Udemy using I mean like I don't know the author name exactly, but it starts with Rian. He's a guy from Cloud Guru. So if you opt for Cloud Guru or Udemy, both are the same, but Udemy offers you a cheaper price. You can get the online coupons and buy it for some $10, $15, something like that. And apart from this, what helped me was that the practice questions online. That Amazon website gives you an idea, like suppose what we talked about Glacier, they will ask you a question about Glacier, but they won't ask you in a straightforward way. Like they will try to compare Glacier with S3 and try to spot out the difference, which is the cost difference, which is the durability difference or the availability difference. So yeah, I didn't feel the exam was tough, but it was like they covered almost everything. And be good with ELBs and how the ELBs are used, how S3 endpoints are used, like the ELB endpoints are used, like there won't be any IP address, there will be only DNS host names for ELB. even I mean, it was very hard. I know. I mean, even I faced the same thing, but it was okay. Like we don't, Amazon doesn't expect you to know your 100% for each and every service. All they check is your how good you know the concept of the service. Like they will even cover elastic beanstalk. And yeah, in the coursework, you will get to know what certification topics are and what are not in the certification topics. Suppose uh, in the coursework from Deepu, we covered almost every service.
So elastic beanstalk they're asking?
Yes, Deepu, like
I don't know
how
this
to
stuff.
manage.
What is
Yeah,
that?
how to manage the applications. I mean, using scripting and all. Yeah, there were a couple of questions on Beanstalk, and you have to know what Amazon allows you to have a operating system level access. Like suppose you have a RDS, there is no concept of you having all the access because Amazon manages everything right from OS level patches or security of RDS. It's the Amazon managed service. So try to spot out the services which are fully managed by AWS and try to spot out services which needs to be managed by you. So there were a couple of questions where OS level access or root level access to services and
What
and
about CloudWatch or CloudFormation or CloudTrail? Anything on that?
yes, Deepu, actually I somehow kept the management tools on the last portion, but there were almost close to some 6 to 8 questions only from CloudWatch, CloudTrail, and CloudFormation, and there were a couple of questions from Trusted Advisor.
Okay.
So they will ask what service, or I mean what features you can expect help from Trusted Advisor. It is like
So trusted
performance.
advisor, just a minute, Sandeep. Okay, so I know I didn't talk about this and we don't have much time, but I just wanted to quickly talk about trusted advisor. Trusted advisor is an Amazon services that is provided for checking the performance of your servers, checking the security. It will come up. It is, right now for me there is nothing. It is just saying, there is nothing running here. But in a working environment, you're going to see a lot of, see here, it's coming up now. So it is looking at my current environment, and trusted advisor will give you advices. Okay, hey, how can you save some money? It looks like, your instance is an M3 extra large, and I don't see that instance is really using M3 extra. So it will give you recommendations. See here, I don't have any cost optimization now, but it will give you recommendation. Okay, reduce the size of the instance or increase the size of the instance. So you get some real uh, uh, suggestions from Amazon with respect to cost optimization. Look at the performance issue here. Let's see what is that. Service, check the usage that is more than 80% of service limit here. So upgrade your support plan to unlock all trusted advisor recommendations. So you need to have your support plan upgraded to get the trusted advisor. But here it's saying, high utilization EB2 instances. It will give you all these recommendations. It says here, I think there is something they're talking about. I think refresh 2 minutes ago. Okay. Okay. Here it is. I think they are talking about limits. I'm not sure what they are talking here, but it is talking about some service limit issues. I'm not sure, but look at this security thing. So there is a, say here there is a security vulnerability. They're saying, check security group that allows unrestricted. It says that I have some security groups that have 0.0.0/0 is open. That means you're open your servers, or some of your security groups are open to the whole public. So it is a security risk. So see, it says 23 of 80 security groups allow unrestricted. So, you know, in my office and all, if you see something like this, it's a big issue. Our audit team is going to catch us and they're going to question me, why do I have so many security groups that are having zero path open? You know, it means you are open into everywhere, you know. So you may want to look into that, and it will, you know, once you have the support plan, it will tell you which security groups have these problems, so you can basically go and address that issue. Here is another issue. MFA, my root account do not have an MFA. See, I remember I told you, right? My MFA root account should have an MFA, and I was instructing you guys. So here it is saying check the root account once multi-factor authentication is not enabled. MFA is not enabled for root account. So this is what is trusted advisories. I would say this is a great feature. This is also a new feature that came up probably around 6 months back. But this is something you may want to check it out. Okay. All right. Go ahead, Sandeep.
Yes, Deepu. And I mean, try to understand concepts of IAM policies and
Okay.
how do we create users and concept of roles. Roles are very important. Like I have a couple of questions from roles as well. And coming to database thing, there were 4 or 5 questions from RDS, couple of them from DynamoDB,
Okay.
and couple of them
DynamoDB,
from
I don't know, but RDS, can you tell me what are the questions they asked from RDS? We did create an RDS and all those things. Can you tell me some questions that you might have got from RDS perspective?
yes, I mean, I don't exactly remember, I mean, the questions from RDS, but what I got was, I remember one question where there was a performance issue from the client complaints to us saying that there was a performance issue from the customers, and there were a couple of complaints raised by customers, and the client asked you to provide an immediate solution for it, and the options goes like, you deploy multi-AZ, you provide read replicas, you try to increase the size of the instance, and fourth one was an irrelevant one. So it was like performance cannot be increased by deploying multi-AZ. Multi-AZ is only for high availability.
Increasing the
So
size of the instance will be the answer probably.
yes, and I mean, like he asked to pick up two answers. So increasing the size and
Read
uh,
replicas.
read replicas. So, and apart from that, RDS instances, like what happens when you create the, when you delete the DB instances. This was the kind of question, and there was a question where it was like related to subnet groups. We create the subnet groups when we create an instance. There was a question on what is the default, does Amazon create any default subnet groups for you to use with the RDS? Say it's like true or false thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, so these were the kind of questions, Deepu.
Okay, that's good. What about anything from an EC2 perspective, like EBS, Elastic Block Storage?
Yes, therefore, like how do you encrypt? I mean, what are the possible options related to encryption of an EBS volume? This is the question. So options were like existing in EBS can be encrypted, instances of all types can be encrypted, and EBS encryption is possible for all types of EBS volumes. So you have to pick up a couple of options, and I picked like EBS volumes, and also the second thing, that one is false. I mean, instance types, not every instance type can be encrypted because encryption is not
Correct. Only certain instance type is supported for encryption. That's correct.
yeah. So
what about Route 53?
Route 53, there was a question like the client is trying to host his website in the EU region. The client is already in the US region. So what kind of latency routing policy is going to implement to distribute the traffic evenly between the two regions. So it will be weight latency, I mean weight routing policy, weight route 53 routing policy.
Right. Okay.
And also there are questions related to AMIs. How do like does copying an AMI, copying a shared AMI also copies the permissions, true or false? So it will be false. Like if you share an AMI with another account, it doesn't mean that you will share also the permissions. I mean copying things related to that AMI or the ownership of the AMI.
Right.
So, and also there were tricky questions where I think I did wrong answers for almost every question related to spot instance. I kept it as dedicated instance. For almost every question related as on-demand instance, I kept as spot instance. So try to know that. Try to put yourself into scenarios, questions where they will show how to use spot instance and what spot instances you will be charged. Like if Amazon's themselves terminate your instance, they won't be charging you for that partial hour.
Right.
If you delete it, you will be getting charged for that spot instance. So there were a couple of questions related to spot instance, which I think I kept it as wrong, I'm pretty sure. And reserved instances, there were there were 2 or 3 questions from reserved instances.
So how many questions were there altogether?
60 people, exactly 60, and we need to get 65%. Yes, 65%.
Okay. All right. So 65%, pretty much you get, from the class itself, most of the thing are covered. So where did you get these questions? Are there any other link where people can look at some questions?
Right now, I didn't follow any particular questions, Deepu. Like I said in the Cloud Guru, immediately after completion of the course, he will be giving us a few questions and few quizzes. And apart from that, I have a website called cloudthat.com. I'm gonna I'm gonna put it out there. Yeah, this website helped me, cloudthat.com. And apart from that, let me apart from that, let me try to get the website. I tried to Google AWS certifications practice questions. I tried to Google this and tried to get few websites. Few of them are paid. I have an iOS app which is powered by Amazon Web Services. It's not an official app from AWS, but it is powered by AWS. I have a 3 mock exams before going for exam, and after trying to get a conceptual view and scenario view, I wrote these 3 exams, and yes, my scoring percentage was like 50-50. Like I got 68 and 67%, but it was like I thought I can go for the exam, and I went for it. This app name is AWS. I am gonna ping you. These are the practice questions we can get. There are a couple of apps. One is from Cloud Guru, and other is from not directly from AWS, but the name suggests it is powered by Amazon Web Services.
Okay.
So these are the practice questions. These are really helpful. Like these are some questions are directly from these apps only. Like I can say there were 5 to 10 questions.
So what is this called? AWS Architect Certified Solution Architect. That's a app?
That's the app name.
An iPhone app or?
It's an iPhone app. It's available in Android also.
Okay.
And the other one is from Cloud Guru. This is Exam Guru. I mean, these two are paid apps, but they are worthy.
Okay. How much is that Exam Guru?
Exam Guru is some $19 repo. They're costly.
Okay. But it will give
And
you
this one,
a lot of questions. How many questions you get from there?
close to 350, if I'm not wrong. Close
Oh,
to
really?
350 to 400.
Okay, so if you can go through that 350 questions, I think it will be easy to pass probably. That's what I feel like.
Yes, people like we can get close to some 50-60% if we follow these questions, but the remaining things, yeah, you need to have clear concepts like how you explained in the class. You need to have a conceptual idea. Suppose, for example, for that VPC question, if we don't know what cider block exactly means, we won't have that flexibility to answer that question. There, I mean, scenario-based questions.
Did they ask anything about route table or internet gateway or anything from that?
Yes, so there was one question like um, they did not ask directly to route table, but it is related to route table. The client says that instance was already placed in public subnet, but it is not able to connect to internet. And it also says that the route table is also properly configured. Security groups are configured. Route table is configured to destination to internet. I mean destination to the 00 IP address, and the target is the internet gateway, but still instance is not connecting to internet. This is because IP address, elastic IP is not provided. So this was the only question related to route table.
Okay, good man. Thanks.
Yeah, thanks.
Anybody has any questions for Sandeep? Any other? Karthik, and I know you. Some of you guys are already preparing for it. I thought this was useful. Thank you very much, Sandeep. Anybody has any questions to Sandeep? I think that is what you need to follow. Okay, basically, get some questions and answer it, and then that is what I'm saying. There is no need to really go deeper into that. Understanding the concept of what each service is and how it operates is what is probably most important.
Any question regarding pricing or no?
No pricing. We don't need to worry about pricing. Yeah. But you need to know. I mean, pricing with regards to numbers, no. But you need to know, like suppose if Elastic IP is not associated with any running instance, you're gonna get charged, right? So this was kind of questions. I mean, I got it. Like, how do you charge? How do Amazon pricing is related to Elastic IP? So it will be like, if it's attached to a stopped instance, you're gonna get charged for it. So
Correct. Elastic IP address is something that you're buying. It is a static IP address. Amazon is giving it to you. So, so basically, they're going to charge you for that. I think now that you said, let me go and delete all these Elastic IP addresses because I will be.
I think like $3-4 a month, something like that.
Yeah. But you got to understand it is.
Maybe a server is running or something.
I think I'm not sure. Let me see. All right, so that's good. Anything else you want to? Any questions from dedicated host? I don't think they might ask. What about snapshots? Did they ask you any questions about snapshots?
yes, there was one question like which of the following is true regarding snapshots. Like they're asked on like 2 or 3 options. One was like shared snapshots cannot be encrypted. That was one option, and the other option was snapshots are stored in S3. So this is the only basic question they asked about snapshot, not really into deeper into the snapshot concepts.
Okay. So RDS, they did ask questions, right? RDS.
Yes.
About 53. Anything from these things? Snowball, I don't think they might ask anything from
No.
DMS.
Yeah. Nothing.
Okay. Anything on SNS?
Yes. What are the valid subscriber items for SNS, email, JSON script, and short message service?
What is that? Sorry, go ahead, Sandeep.
What are the valid subscribers for SNS? Like when you create a topic, what are the valid subscribers?
Right. Okay.
Hmm?
So these are the things, right?
Yes,
About
yes, Deepu, these are the things.
the CloudWatch.
Yes, there were like 4 or 5 questions related to both CloudWatch and CloudTrail. Like they're gonna confuse you in which scenarios you're gonna use CloudWatch, which scenarios you're gonna use CloudTrail, and how do you use the access logs and all. Like for example, there was a question where you need to put an alarm if your CPT utilization goes above 30%. The options were 3 options were on CloudTrail and the fourth one was on CloudWatch. So it's obviously only CloudWatch gives you the option to raise an alarm. So there were questions on CloudWatch as well, but not deeper into like what are the metrics and what does this metric mean? They didn't ask any question like that. There was a question like which metrics is not covered by CloudWatch by default, and the option was memory usage. You can't CPU memory usage. This cannot be given by default monitoring. You need to do a custom metrics for that. So that question.
Okay, thank you.
Anything from device form?
No, Deepu, no.
Okay. I think, device farm, game development, IoT, developer tools, these are all part of other exams from the AWS certified architect, EC2, S3, RDS, VPC, then IAM, pretty much IAM is very, very important. No question, any questions from directory services, Microsoft AD or anything?
Yes, Deepu, there was only one question from directory service. It was like, how do you connect your Active Directory account in your office to the, in your premises to
That is AD
the
connector, right?
AD connector? Yeah, that was only the one question. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm sorry, just one question. Which exam did you take again? The first one or the advanced one or the very first one?
No, the very first one, associate level. I mean, like to get qualified for the professional, you need to have associate certificate. So yeah, this is the first one.
Oh, okay, thank you.
So what I understand is, from the associate and professional, the exam, the topics are same. But when you go for professional, you're going to get more deeper, just like what Sandeep said, right now they're asking only the outer shell, but when you go for professional exam, they're going to ask you more design questions and scenarios, and probably they might go a little deeper into this. Every topic will be same, but it will be a little more deeper. So you're going to try for the second exam now, Sandeep?
Not now, Deepu. Maybe after a couple of weeks or 3 to 4 weeks, because I'm scared after seeing the practice questions. Like in the Amazon website, I've seen the practice questions. I got scared, so I thought it's better to do some coursework and do some labs and then give it a try. I'm not sure whether it's going to be a pass or fail, but I'll give it a try in 3 to 4 weeks time. Yes.
Okay, that's good. Okay. So, as I said, from an exam perspective, these are the things, but, I would recommend you guys to definitely understand about from a office work perspective. You may want to know about, DMS, server migration, Snowball. These are things I would definitely get an idea about it, so that when somebody asks or when you go for interviews, I'm sure they will ask this question, because every company is hiring you as a Amazon administrator or a cloud administrator is because they wanted to move their workloads to cloud, workloads to Amazon. So at that point, this part will be important. So you should be in a good position to answer it, or somehow you need to see how you can challenge that questions. So this will be an important thing. Another thing that I'm seeing a lot of popularity now is coming is actually elastic map reduce. This is again not the job of a cloud admin. Basically, it is done by your data analytics, ETL team. They are the one who do this. This is actually building up a Hadoop cluster inside Amazon, and configure it so that you can process a huge amount of data using Hadoop clusters. It's basically you upload all your data, then create maps and reduce it using these Hadoop clusters, and then watch that. So this is some you can actually try to create it. It is simple step. You don't need to do anything. You just come here, give it a name, specify a folder to store all the output data. You can create a cluster. There are different versions of Amazon based thing, or you can use MapReduce. Both our options are available. If you come here, you can see there are different versions of Elastic MapReduce are available. Whatever version you want, you can select it, and then it comes here. It will ask you what type of server. So it's a service. EMR, Elastic MapReduce, is a Hadoop clustering service. You don't need to. There were probably a year back, Hadoop was very, very hot. Everybody was running around to learn Hadoop and Hadoop clusters and Hadoop administration and things like that, how to manage Hadoop. Even today, Hadoop is widely used, but what has happened is all these cloud companies are now able to make the cloud. So you don't have to be a cloud, you don't have to be a Hadoop expert or an Hadoop administrator to have an EMR cluster. So here, this is going to create a Hadoop cluster using any one of these instance types. You can see that a Hadoop cluster can start with the minimum 3 nodes. So one is a master node, and then the other one are called as data nodes or core nodes. These are the 2 nodes that will do all the data processing. The master node will be kind of a gatekeeper which will control all your environment. So in order to build a Hadoop cluster, you need a minimum of 3 servers. So you just specify what instance type you want, and how many numbers you want. You just put that. You put your key pair, whatever key pair you want, and then you just click create cluster. It will create a Hadoop cluster. It will launch the instances. You will see these instances in your instance list, and it will be charged. But once that is done, your cluster is ready. But how to use EMR, I don't know. I just created a cluster for my analytics team in my office and hand it over to them, and they are playing around with it. But from a cloud administrator perspective, you may definitely wanted to give it a try. I would say I have if you go to YouTube, there is actually a good video about AWS EMR. So I would say you may want to look at that. AWS EMR. There is a technical introduction to and these two videos. I would definitely recommend these two videos to watch so that you get a very good understanding. But first watch the introduction of EMR if you want to know, and then get on to the EMR deep dive, how to configure an EMR cluster and how to set up that. That is there. Okay. That is EMR. Another this thing. These are all I don't have any idea about this. QuickSight is another thing where it is again a analytics tool where you can create graphs and sheets and things like that. You can you want to just like if you go to our billing. By the way, Sandeep, any questions from the billing? So you see these dashboards and all, how these dashboards are built and all is actually done through Quick Insight. So that is again a new feature that Amazon released. I think since Quick Insight was released probably around 3 months back, that is getting a lot of popularity right now. A similar product from Microsoft is called as HD Insight. HD Insight is a very similar product that works with Quick Insight. Sandeep, any questions on the billing? Okay, he left. Oh, is there? Sandeep, can you talk? You're muted.
Sorry, Dipu. I mean, no questions from billing, Dipu. No.
Okay.
I mean, there was a question from consolidated billing, like how do you manage 3 accounts where you need to monitor each and every, like each and every department. So the answer was consolidated billing, but it was a straightforward question.
So anybody know what is consolidated billing? So consolidated billing is something, for example, if your company is having, if your company is having 3 different Amazon accounts, you don't want to have 3 separate accounts, 3 separate billing, 3 separate credit cards. You don't need to do that. Just by using consolidated billing, you can have one account that will pay, and you need only one credit card for all that, and your billing will come as one single bill from all the different accounts. But you can go back and check each account is how much it cost and what is happened, everything. But consolidated billing is a technique where you could merge multiple accounts into one account. Okay. And that is actually there is an option. You cannot do that here. I think there is an option once you do that. I don't know what is the sign up for consolidated billing. Is it done? I think we need to do sign up or something. But in my office environment, we have consolidated billing. But so when you create a new account, you need to add it to the primary account. So that's how you do that consolidated billing. So you will have one account as the primary account, and then you can attach. So you can also call Microsoft support, and they will do that for you. So if you have one account and then you need to create another account. So you guys also if you have another account you want to create for a real customer or something, you can create another account, but you can still keep the bill on your one same credit card. So you don't need to manage separate accounts. No questions from work docs or anything, right? Work docs, work mail,
No,
workspace.
no.
They didn't ask anything on workspace or anything, right? All right. So I think it's 10:37. I just wanted to quickly show you what is this work docs. Work docs is very similar to these are for your personal business or personal use. All these things, work mail. You can get your emails much more cheaper than from paying to somebody. But work docs is Amazon's way of managing documents. I do have a work docs. You can create a new work doc site. Basically you can do that quick start. That will actually do it for you. But it needs you just specify your URL, whatever you want. You give your name, and then you click next and cancel it. I mean, you can click next and complete that setup. It will create a work doc for you. Once you do that, so you can see that daskcase.appworks.cloud cloudworddocs.com. When you do that, it will create. So Amazon. So you can see that this is how the work docs looks like. I have certain things that I created. It is a collaboration tool where you can share your documents with multiple people. I'll just show you now how I open up. So you can see that you can create folders and you can manage it. There is also a AWS. Hold on, let me see. AWS, not AWS, Amazon Work Docs. I think it was a client. Yeah, here it is. So it comes like this. You can log in with this, and then you can manage your documents just like that, like this. So it is actually called as Zocalo. Okay, this is actually the new name of WorkDocs. I think they changed the name. Earlier it was called as Zocalo, and now they call it as WorkDocs. So basically you can see that my documents, everything is here. Just like your Google Drive or Dropbox, you can see that the resumes and all is sitting here. It will sync it with your local desktop. So here is the advantage of it. I just want to show you. I wanted to show you a resume here. Let's look at this resume here. So you can see that it just opened up in a Word document. Amazon can open it here, and then you can actually you want to comment something. You can actually put a feedback. Okay, please correct this. So you can just do that. You can just put your comment there, and then you can post it. It will go to the people, so you can actually share it with multiple people, so they can all see who did what. Everything will be, I'm working on that document, so you can actually put your feedbacks, and then you can share it with public people. You can share it with the public. You can delete the comments. There is a chat option here. You can see the activity, who are the people. You can share it with multiple people. So if you have a document or anything you shared in Amazon Work Docs, you can actually share that document with private, or you can even do it with the multiple people. I think there is a option to send it to different people. So you can actually send it to multiple people or groups and things like that. So this is great. I don't know, this has never been become so popular, but Amazon is trying to come up with it. So you don't need any Word or PowerPoint or Excel or anything. Amazon will open it for you right there.
So when you send the file from here, for example, so they have to have a Word doc to open it, or they can
No,
open in
you
there?
don't know. That is the beauty of this. So I don't have a Word doc here. It is opening right there inside. That is the beauty of that.
Okay, because Dropbox, you cannot, when you share the file, you have to have some kind of account to
Correct.
look at it.
No, you don't need that in Amazon Word Docs. It has its own compiler, so it will come. The Word is compatible with it. It is just like so Excel, Word, PowerPoint, everything you can open right from here.
Okay, good.
So I think I have this XLS file. Let's see how it will. So you can see that the Excel is opening right here. It will come up like this. This is not a full-fledged file, but I think you can actually do that. So WorkDocs is something, this is for your personal use. You can use that, So once you become an Amazon user and get into Amazon things, you can store your files, everything. I was just spending, I spent almost $1,000 to get a storage box here to put all my files, everything. But nowadays, I was thinking, why should I do that? I can actually put a lot of my information right inside Amazon itself, So here, my Daskcase account, I have a lot of company expenses, stuff like that. I'm actually trying to do that using WorkDocs, and, a couple of my recruiters and all, they share these documents and do that. We have another account, but they do share their documents, and they come in, when you modify the resumes and all, they actually use that. So setting up the WorkDocs is pretty simple and easy. Okay. Yeah, Coyote, let's talk tomorrow or something. You call me and then I will work with you on that. Okay. So that's the thing, guys, see, I think, I just wanted to be fair with you guys, whatever I know, I shared and I taught, as I said, there is still a lot more to learn and a lot more to do. I tried my best to teach you whatever I know. I think initial days we went very deep onto EC2 and, VPC and things like that, which is the core thing. These things are also CloudTrail, CloudWatch, CloudFormation. These are things that you need to practice, especially CloudFormation and things like that. So that is it. I hope you are all kind of happy. I'm not sure how much, but I thought it was pretty good class, and it was a big class. This is the first time I have so many students, so I never got a chance to get into everybody. Ashwini Kumar and all. First days I think I did talk to your name. Then after that, I'm just seeing you today. But I know you were there all the days. Kashif and Devinder and all, thanks for your feedbacks. Yogender was there. I think he's been missing for a lot of days. Vijay, Venkat, Vishna, Sunil, and where is Jacob? Jacob is missing today. So that's it, guys. If you have any questions, then I can answer. I will send you that video links. I will also see if I can get some sample documentation. No, not some sample document, some other documentations that I have. I will also try to share that with you guys tomorrow.
Okay, sure. If you have any documentation regarding just like a small project or something, like just create one, like one company, you know what I mean, like something we can just try out,
I don't have anything like that, but probably I think I can come up with an idea. That's a good idea.
Right. Then we have exactly experience, like from the scratch all the way. I want to do that, but I need that, like customer router actually.
Okay. All right. Let me see if I can get that, Kashif. I'll try to set up a questionnaire and send it to you. Okay. Like, the company A wants to build this and it should have these kind of things, right? That is what you wanted to know. All right. Okay.
Right. Thank you.
So from the video perspective, I will be removing all the videos. I will upload today's video as well as a couple of videos I think some people were mentioning. So the problem is, I have to share and send it to everybody. but if you are missing some videos, let me know. Okay, but I need to know the exact date or whatever it is. Otherwise, I won't be able to do that.
Deepa, you're gonna send us an email with those video links that we can watch.
Oh, I didn't get you. What is that, Devinder?
You'll be sending us an email with all the video links.
Correct. I will be sending that. I will be sending that right now itself. I think I can send it right now itself. Let me just do that before I forgot. Now these videos, you got to remember, these videos are, some of them are pretty much deep dive videos, because if you really want to go for the second exam and things like that, you definitely have to watch this video. These are, most of them are deep dive sessions. So always watch the first, I mean, you know all the things. For example, I'm just trying to tell you VPC. Okay, you know VPC, you know how to create things, but the deep dive of a VPC video will talk about some advanced topics and also give you some different scenarios how to design the thing. There is actually a video on Active Directory integration. What are the best practices? What are the best ways to do Active Directory? You can do many things. You can have your own company's Active Directory, or you can have Amazon's Active Directory called Microsoft AD, or you can use a mix of that both. So what scenarios and what situations you need to use these kind of things is what those type of videos will explain. Any possible method is, any options are possible. You can have your own AD in your company's data center. You can have your AD in Amazon VPC, or you can have Microsoft AD, that is a service that Amazon provides. But if you have your SQL servers and your application servers are widely span across multiple data centers and office, and then you have cloud, that option may not be a good solution. In that case, you may want to make some cloud trust relationship. You may want to have both Microsoft AD as well as your AD, and then you would need to create some trust relationship and all. So that there is a video on that. Actually, I mentioned that it is good one. So definitely watch that. That will give you a very good idea about how to integrate Microsoft Active Directory into Amazon. Now again, that won't be an exam related topic, but from a company's perspective, from an architecture perspective, those topics are really useful. Okay. I'll also send some other documents that I have, some Gardener's documents and all. Probably I will try to get you that video. So those PDFs tomorrow, I will send it along with the video. Okay. From a developer, you don't need to look at any of these things. I don't think this is a one important topic I wanted to teach, and I'm not very thing is actually CloudFront. Sandeep, any questions from CloudFront actually?
Yes, Deepu, there were a couple of questions from CloudFront. Like they combined CloudFront and Route 53, and they gave me a question. I don't remember the exact question, but CloudFront is an exam topic, and 2 or 3 questions are coming from there. CloudFront is like, 2 questions, Deepu, if I'm not wrong. Yeah.
Okay, so CloudFront is something that I missed, and in fact, we don't use CloudFront. It is more for data distribution, or used by Netflix and kind of companies, or if you have a website that is globally available and you want to send your website data equally to all the sites. Basically more used in multimedia companies use CloudFront a lot. You can see that, it's basically for backend data transfer for your sites, caching and things like that. So I know it is a popular topic. So if you get a chance, definitely watch this. We don't use that because my company don't do any multimedia business or anything, but I know it is a hot topic. So since he mentioned that there are questions from there, I would probably suggest you to prepare that, just read at least to get some idea and then answer the question so that you will be able to answer that. Don't worry on EMR or anything, these analytics and artificial intelligence and all, there won't be any questions from here from an exam perspective. Don't touch desktop app, don't touch business productivity, application services, mobile services, game, Internet of Things, developer tools, nothing is going to come from there. And also I don't think they ask any questions from Lambda or Batch and all. It won't be available. They won't be asking. Any question from EFS?
No, Deepu. No.
Okay, storage gateway?
Yes, there were a few questions like what are the types of like the Memphis and Redis and the Memcached type of gateways. Yeah, so there was one question, and the other question was like the true or false question from the storage gateway.
So I got an email from Consolidated Billing Verification now. I just did that. See, they just verified. They're saying the payment method for your account has been verified. You may now send requests to other account owners to add their accounts to your consolidated billing. So that is exactly. So if I want to make a payment for you, I just send that email to you guys and then you add my account number there. It will automatically come into my account. So the billing. So that's how the companies do. You will have a CEO or a CTO who has a credit card, or your company's purchase department will have a credit card. You use that, and then each department or each business unit can go and buy their own accounts, and then the billing will go through the company, but each team can manage their accounts separately. So that's it, guys. So thank you very much. I hope it was useful for you, and I'm glad that he got the exam cleared, which is good. And Sandeep, thank you very much for joining today and giving everybody at least some confidence. So that was good.
Thank you, Deepu.
And keep in touch. If you have any questions or anything, if I can help you out, I will definitely help you out. From your interview perspective, from your job perspective, anything. If you need any help, feel free to call me. I can. You can catch me on my WhatsApp. I think everybody know my number, right?
Right.
Okay. If you don't know, it is 609-851-9406. Okay. I'm also in LinkedIn, or you can catch me on Facebook or wherever it is. I'm pretty much everywhere there. So that's it. Davinder, actually I wanted to talk to you about your company's setup and things like that, man. So we are actually doing some work in New York for a couple of companies. I'm actually helping them to migrate. And you can also try to find small projects if you guys are interested, okay? There are a lot of companies are looking into moving to cloud. And I'm sure with this knowledge, you guys should be able to move small companies into Amazon. Building their servers, creating a VPC, make sure you do the security parts clearly. Setting up the security groups, opening up the ports, firewalls, and things like that. You have to be a little careful, that's all. So all they want is to get rid of their old junk hardware and move their servers into Amazon. So thanks, guys. We'll stop here. Keep in touch, and I really appreciate you all joining. And I hope that you guys were able to learn at least some good topics from this class. Thank you
that's
again.
good.
All right.
Are you going to remove all the recordings after a few minutes? I'm going to stay for at least for tomorrow, till tomorrow.
No, man. I'm going to delete it now.
I'm downloading some files. So, okay,
You're
that's fine.
downloading now. You're doing it now. I'm going to delete it now.
Okay. So that's the
I
other thing.
won't be deleting. I won't be deleting it, guys. I'll upload the video. It will be there for a couple of days. Definitely. I'm not going to remove it.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you so much. And this training, I attended many trainings, but compared to that, this training was an excellent training. It is very deep in a concept.
Okay, thank you, Muthu. I am, this is, if it is my VMware class, I know there are many guys who attended VMware classes in this class. I mean, it's a whole different thing. VMware means, my VMware classes is very well known. I've been teaching VMware for past 12 years and I have a really deep understanding on VMware, but Amazon is still a learning thing for me. Even in this class, I learned a lot of things. And every class is learning for me also. But I tried my best. What I did is I just shared what I know in the simplest way I can, so that you guys understand. That is all I did. I'm not claiming that I'm an expert here. I still think I have a lot of things to learn. But I always try my best. And thank you, Muthu.
No. Well, thank you very much. It was a very good class. Okay, keep in touch.
All right, thanks, guys. I may be starting another class, but as I said, there is normally I do classes every 45 days, but this time, as I don't know, I mentioned or not, we are moving to a new house, so next 2-3 weeks are pretty busy for me. So no class immediately, but there will be a class probably come up by mid of March. Maybe, I'm not sure. DevOps class, Sharat's class is actually starting March first week. If anybody is interested in that, I would please contact me. That will be a really, really useful class, and I will definitely send you once that class is scheduled. It's already scheduled, but there is a YouTube videos and all is coming up, so you may want to watch that videos. I think most of you attended his one class, right? Many of you might have attended his demo, right? At least from the people from APCO might have attended. Yes or no? Did anybody attended Sharat's class? Highly rated class. Now, if you want to really know his power and knowledge, go to this site /root.in. This is owned and managed by Sharat. It's a one-man show. He writes these blogs, all latest things. Anything you want to know about Linux, Docker containers, DevOps, and DNS, it's here. This is something that he's been building for the past many years. So a great website and a great person. So. And he's currently working for Facebook. So we are starting that class mostly next week. Okay. All right, guys. So thank you very much. I will upload this video tomorrow, and also let me see if I can get some documents. And Kashif, if I get some time, I will try to send a scenario for building up an AWS infrastructure for you.
All right. Thank you so much.
All right. Thank
Good
you,
night.
guys, and good luck and good night.
Thank you, Deepak.
Thank you, Deepak.